Today on Your Money, Your Wealth podcast number 594, Gary in Pennsylvania is 54 with $10 million. And get this, he still can't decide whether he can walk away or if he needs to grind out a few more years. What is up with that? But before we get to Gary, Frida and Diego are 54 and 52 in California with $5.3 million, eaching to start their go-go years. Can they both retire right now? And is $200,000 a year of spending pushing it? Stanley and Stella in New York have a pension decision to make. Choosing the wrong option could leave one of them exposed for life. Please leave an honest rating and review for YMYW in Apple Podcasts or any of the other apps that let you do that. When you do, you're helping someone escape all of those boring money podcasts. I'm executive producer Andy Last, and here are the hosts of Your Money, Your Wealth, Joy Anderson CFP, and Big Al Clopine CPA.
Diving right in, we got Frida from Diego, California.
No, Frida and Diego from California.
Oh, Frida and Diego
it's
from
a
California.
Reference to Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera.
Okay.
One more time.
Frida Kahlo, famous Mexican painter, and her husband, Diego Rivera, also a famous muralist.
Okay. Nice.
Hola, Joe, Big Al, Andy, writing in for Retirement Spitball. We're Frida and Diego from San Francisco. I drive a 2014 Toyota RAV4
2024.
hybrid. Frida drives a 2022 Tesla Model 3. She likes to drink Kir Royales. Wow. And I enjoy Negronis. I haven't had a Negroni. I've probably only had a couple, but they were tasty.
I thought it was a beer, and I realized I was getting it confused with Negra Modelo.
Well, okay.
Yes.
Negroni. She's 52. I'm 54, turning 55 at the end of this year. Frida was laid off from a biotech firm 3 years ago and is no rush to return to the lab. I've been in marketing for a major tech company for almost 20 years and feeling restless to get on with the next chapter. Travel, surfing, skiing, some passion projects, and maybe cleaning out the garage, or at least taking or talking about cleaning out the garage.
Let's not get too ambitious.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Diego.
Okay, so let's check out the numbers. $1.6 million in a taxable brokerage account, ETFs and stocks mainly. This includes a safety buffer of short-term treasuries and munis of about 250 grand. 3.6 million in our 401ks. The allocation is 80-20 stock bond, 50,000 in our Roth, $40,000 in an HSA, and I'll take $5,000 of Social Security income at the age of 70, and Frida will take $3,200 when she turns 65. Our home is worth $1.6 million, and we have $300,000 left on a 15-year fixed at 2%. My salary with bonus, $270,000. I also have about $50,000 in RSUs in max out in ESPP plan. We do a little backdoor Roth. Got started on the backdoor and mega backdoor. Late, unfortunately. I wonder how long Diego's been listening to the program here, Big Al.
Maybe not that long.
Yeah. Our current annual spending is $150,000 a year. That includes our mortgage, insurance, and all other spending. We'd like to maximize our go-go years with about $170,000 to $200 grand in spending for at least a decade. But we're flexible and plan on guardrails. No plans to move out of the state or downsize anytime soon. We'd like to optimize the ACA subsidies with the lower MAGI. And since we don't have kids or heirs, except for the shaggy sheepdog, we're less keen on Roth conversions. You just want to enjoy our post-work life. What does having no heirs have anything to do with conversions?
Well, I think it's what people think of right off the bat, right? Which is, since it's not going to go to anybody, it doesn't matter.
I think a lot of poor advice is based on that.
So you and I will unravel that. Unpack that. Yep.
We'll unpack it.
Yep.
As far as RMDs and taxes, we could pull some 401k money out of using the 55 rule or do smaller conversions along the way to take some of the sting out of the RMDs down the road. What do you think? Can Diego join Frida in retirement 2026? Is $200,000 in annual spending reasonable? Love the show. Has spent many hours listening to your wisdom and banter during commutes, workouts, and walks with the pooch. Gracias, amigos. Frida and Diego. Okay, they got a boatload of money. They want to spend $200,000. You want to retire at 55
Yep, right now.
right now. So what say you, Big Al?
Well, I think the first thing I looked at is the distribution rate, which currently, if you go 200,000 divided into, say, 5.3 million, that's a 3.8% distribution rate. That's before any kind of fixed income.
Sure.
And then if they go 170, that was the range, right? That was the low end. It's a 3.2% distribution rate. I think that's fine. Uh, I think is this the one where they talked about guardrails?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I sort of like that strategy. And basically what that is, meaning maybe you try for a 3.5% distribution rate or whatever it may be as your starting point. And then if there's years where the market does better than average, then you might take a little bit more, or years when the market does less than average or even go down, you might take out a little bit less. So that way you're sort of a little bit flexible spending. I think that makes this type of scenario work out better. So I think this probably works.
So he'll retire at 55, have about a 3.5% burn rate plus tax. Okay, so it's a little rich, but he's just got to bridge the gap for
That's
10
exactly
years
that's
for
right.
her, and then another 5 for him. So 15-year total bridge.
Yep.
So, okay.
Or if one of them gets a little bit of part-time income, that could help a little bit. But I think there's a lot of assets here. It's, usually at this age, we'd want to see about a 3.5% distribution rate or less. But because that's not even including their fixed income and they can be flexible on their spending, I think that's probably okay.
Okay. 80/20 stock bonds. They'll probably have to reallocate a little bit here on how they're thinking about creating the income from the portfolio,
Right.
where you want to pull from. So he's thinking rule of 55. So if you do the rule of 55, then you pull out of the retirement account until up to the 12% tax bracket. And then you would pull the rest from the taxable account. But I would be curious to see what the basis is on that taxable account. I don't know if it's high or low or how much gain.
Mm-hmm.
Because then when he retires, let's assume he retires Jan 1. So he's got the full year to create his own income, and all the income that is generated for them to live off of is on his own doing from his assets.
Right.
So then it's like, where do you withdraw? Do you just take it from the brokerage account? Because if he has low basis,
Mm-hmm.
you could take advantage of the 0% capital gain rate.
You could.
And so you might want to think about that to reallocate that taxable account to get it out of an 80/20 split, because you probably want to live off of some of that over the next 10 years.
Right.
And if it's all in stock, if the stock goes down, you don't necessarily want to sell stocks when they're down to live off of. So, or is it a combination of, do you take advantage of the 0% tax rate, and then you also take some distributions from the tax deferred to live off of? Or do you live off of the taxable and then do conversions? So there's a variety of things that I would want to look at a 55-year-old with $5 million, with $1.5 million in liquidity that I could live off of,
Right.
to really rearrange kind of some of this tax deferred.
So he wants to keep the income low
For
the subsidy.
ACA,
ACA,
subsidies and things like that.
Yeah, which if you don't know what that is, that's when your income is low enough and you need to buy health insurance because you're not Medicare age yet, which is 65, then you get subsidies or credits, if you will, on your taxes. So you pay, in essence, your premiums are less than you would normally pay, and there's nothing wrong with that strategy.
Because he's in poverty.
He's in poverty. Well, I was going to say there's nothing wrong with the strategy. However, when you got 3.5 million in a retirement account, I would want to get some of that into a Roth IRA. And I think if it were me, I would do at least the first 2 years to the top of the 24% bracket, get a big chunk in upon retirement. Maybe even, maybe those couple years you use Cobra, right? And so you're not worried about ACA anyway. I'd want to get a more of a head start on the Roth IRAs early at age 55. After that, I think if you want to do ACA subsidies, maybe you only convert in years where the market takes a dive and you want to get some cheap dollars in there and have the recovery happen, in the Roth IRA where you pay no tax. So I think I might think about that.
But here's how I would think about Roth conversions for someone that doesn't have kids.
Yeah, please, because I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of publications, or if you you go on ChatGPT or whatever, the first thing is always like a legacy play.
Yeah, right.
But it's a tax control play is how you want to be thinking about this.
Right.
Because the advice, if you go online and say, all right, I want to retire, can I retire? They're going to give you, right, probably a distribution rate. All right, hey, you're at 3.5%, just like what Al did the numbers. Hey, it looks okay. You got a bridge until Social Security, which is 10 to 15 years. Okay, things look okay. Right, draw down your taxable accounts first. Let your continue to defer. So why pay the ordinary income tax now? And then you take those dollars out last, or your Roth dollars last, or they would pass to the next generation.
Right.
And then your kids would have this pot of gold that is tax free.
Sure.
He's going to retire at 55. She's going to be 53 years old. So they have plenty of time to truly get tax diversified.
Right.
They are not diversified from a tax perspective. They're heavily weighted and tax deferred if you think of it as an asset allocation.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to have money in all three pools. I want to have money in tax deferred, taxable, and tax free. So as I start taking distributions, as Social Security comes in, he's not going to pull Social Security until age 70.
Right.
Right. So he's got, and then she's going to pull hers at 65. So that's roughly right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I can control my taxes from age 65 until the rest of my life. So he's got 10 years to kind of play around with these dollars.
Right.
So we'll look at what tax bracket that you're in now. We'll look at what tax bracket that you're going to be at RMD age. If he does, just takes the taxable first and then lets the defer go, he's going to be in probably the 24% tax bracket because the RMD is going to be so big.
Yeah, at least.
At least, right?
Yeah.
And if tax rates go up, he's just going to lose more of that money to taxes.
Yeah, and so I 100% agree. So if you think about it this way, the reason why you do Roth conversions at age 54, 55 is because if you live to 85 or 90, that's a lot of years where you're going to be paying a lot of tax. And one way to think about it is if you have $3.5 million in a deferred account at 55, now I know they'll pull some, right?
Sure.
They'll pull some, but just the rule of 72, 7% interest earnings rate, growth rate, then what's going to happen is your
at 65, it's 7 million.
Yeah, 7. It could
it's
be
75,
14 million.
14 million.
That's a $600,000
RMD.
or more than that's RMD. And so you're doing it for yourself, really. I mean, it's
so you want to even out the tax bind over your lifetime in a sense. And if you do that, if you think about it in a stretch of, all right, I have a 35-year retirement. If I retire at 55,
yep.
I want to pay the lowest amount of tax possible and have the highest amount of income to me and my family possible. You would want to do conversions if you ran the numbers, because what will happen is that you'll pay very, very little tax, and you get your ACA and you get your subsidies and you get cheap insurance all in the beginning of your overall retirement.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you get a J curve. And the IRS is going to love you for it. They're going to take so much dollars from you depending on how much that you let this grow. If you don't want to do the conversions, I think what he's thinking there too, he's like, well, I'll use the rule of 55. And what the rule of 55 is that you can take dollars from a 401k plan if you separate from service at 55 years of age or older. It's not 59 and a half with the 401k. IRAs is 59 and a half. A 401k is 55 as long as you separate from service. So he might be thinking, all right, well, I'll take from the retirement accounts to live off of. So I'll take up to the top of the 12% tax bracket, which would be about $130,000 that he could draw from each year.
Right.
And then maybe the other $100,000 would come from the taxable account. That could be an interesting strategy as well. But I really like the flexibility of having money in a tax-free account, because then let's say if you have larger purchases, you want to do something, you want to go travel the world, you can have balance. I'm going to pull a little bit from my retirement account to a certain tax bracket, but I want a lot more income. Well, then I can pull from my taxable account, pay cap gains. And if I want more income, then I can pull from my tax-free account and not pay any tax at all. If everything is coming from the tax-deferred account, the more dollars that I pull out, the more taxes potentially I'm going to pay. There is no way around the tax. So then it's looking at, well, what's the least amount of tax that I can pay? And if doing a conversion and having that money compound over the next 10 years, 15 years in a Roth, I mean, I agree with you. I would want to jumpstart this, try to get as much money over the next couple of years as possible into the Roth. And then from there, then you can be opportunistic, I guess.
Right.
If you want to look at it that way. But I would run the numbers and just kind of see, all right, well, this is how much money potentially I can save in tax if I do the right strategy.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to tax projections. If you look at 1 year at a time, you're going to say don't do it.
Don't do it.
If you look at 25 years or 30 years at one time,
you'll do it all day long.
You'll do it all day long because of the taxes that you save in the future. And that's because of required minimum distributions that kick in currently at age 73, but soon to be age 75.
What percentage of people do you think have $3.5 million in a deferred account at 54 and 52?
It's very low. Very low. So basically, this is the classic case where we would say this is a tax time bomb. Remember that term?
Right. So if you're getting generic advice, you're going to get the advice that doesn't apply to someone like this. This guy in Frida and Diego, I don't know, maybe 5% of the population have that.
I'd say less than that.
I was being generous.
Yeah, that would be generous. But but it's when you're in that situation at this age. The compounding, by the time you hit RMD age, you'll be shocked what tax bracket they're in. And you and I have seen this on the other side. So in other words, people that were 1 year, 2 years away from RMD age, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I never thought about this. What can I do? It's like, well, you could have done a lot 10, 15 years ago, but hard right now.
Yeah, they come to us at 68. Remember your boy Mitt Romney? How much money did he have in his retirement?
Oh, it was millions and millions and millions.
It was like the biggest IRA ever known to man.
Because he put his company stock, which did well in it.
Right.
I mean, good for the rate of return, but tax issue.
All right. Well, congratulations. Yeah, you're good to go. Great job.
So Joe and Big Al mapped out where Frida and Diego should pull their retirement income from and in what order to keep the tax bill down. Do you know how you're going to do that with your retirement savings? That's the whole ballgame, and getting the order wrong can cost you years of income when you need it the most in retirement. This week's episode of the YMYW TV show digs into retirement spending and how much is too much. Joe and Big Al run real numbers on withdrawal rates, required minimum distributions, and that healthcare gap before Medicare kicks in. Don't miss this one. Our withdrawal strategy guide is this week's special offer, too. It's a plain English walkthrough of how to sequence your withdrawals so more of your money stays in your portfolio instead of going to the IRS. Watch this week's show and download the withdrawal strategy guide for free at the links in the episode description. You'll also see links to our blogs, educational videos and webinars, and other free guides as well. Do a friend a favor and share the show and all these free financial resources with them.
All right, let's move on. We're gonna go to Stanley and Stella from Tennessee. This is Stanley and Tennessee Williams.
Actually from New York.
What the hell am I reading here?
Did you ever see the movie Streetcar Named Desire with Marlon Brando?
No.
Okay, it was based on a play by a playwright named Tennessee Williams.
But Stanley and Stella wrote it.
No, Stanley and Stella are the characters in Streetcar Named Desire, written
by Tennessee Williams.
There you go.
Now you're on the right page. And these guys are from New York State.
Got it.
Stanley in the movie is famous for yelling, "Stella!"
You know what? It was even before my time. How about that?
There you go. All right. I'm 62, going to be retiring here soon. My wife is 59 and a half and has been retired for the last 4 years. She enjoys an old-fashioned. I drink a local honey whiskey. I don't know if I like honey in my whiskey.
I don't really like whiskey, and I don't think I like honey on top of it.
I like old-fashions.
Yeah, I know you do.
Little local honey whiskey. Okay. I'd have to try it. She drives a 2017 Honda HR-V, and I drive a 2017 Mazda 3. My salary is $135,000. I max out a Roth 457 in our original Roth or our individual Roth IRAs. Her pension is $45,000 a year. My pension's $75,000 a year. Okay, single 63,000, 100% pop up. 65,000, 75% pop up. 68,000, 50% pop up.
What is
You know what
pop up?
pop up is?
I do. I had to look it up though. So a pop-up, Joe, is where if the retiree dies first, it's still the same amount that goes to the survivor. But if the wife dies first, it pops up to what the single rate would have been.
Yep.
So Thank you for not using predecease.
Health insurance premiums will be covered by my unused sick leave in Medicare. I will receive a payout of about $45,000 for unused annual leave in comp time. We have no debt, no children. We currently spend about $110,000 per year and plan to increase spending on travel to Italia, Ireland, and Greece.
How many of those you been to?
None.
None. Okay.
Not one of them.
Started.
I got to get started here. I do plan on going to Italia here at some point, but
I'll be there in September.
Okay.
If you want to pop over.
All right. I don't think I can make it this year. We also plan to renovate our kitchen, 2 bathrooms, and install an in-ground pool in landscaping. Wow, that sounds expensive.
It does. You would know.
I was going to say from experience.
We have $37,000 in a money market account, $450,000 in a brokerage, $895,000 in our IRA is $525 in a Roth. We inherited an IRA of $40,000 and expect real estate sale proceeds of about $100,000 later this year. Which pension option should I choose? Come on. I don't know. Should I use the $45,000 for catch-up Roth contributions, future Roth conversions, or renovation expenses? Thank you. We always rely on kindness of strangers.
That's a line from
the movie.
Streetcar Named Desire.
Got it. All right. So let's help Stanley and Stella.
Well, what would you do on the pension?
What would I do on the pension? So they spend $100,000 a year. They have right now total liquid assets of what, $2 million?
Yep.
Let's see. The pension, he's got
well, let me help you out.
73, 63, 55, or 68.
Even if you do the lowest pension option, 63,000, you end up with 108,000 fixed income.
Okay.
And they're spending 110, although they want to travel and renovate their home. So even if you bump the spending up to 150 for some travel and whatever, that's a shortfall of 42,000, which is a 2% distribution rate. So they could actually spend more. That's even at the lowest pension rate.
You have to kind of run an internal rate of return on this. And I don't have the time to do all these calculations.
To me, it's super simple.
We'll just take the lowest one and call it good.
And in case something happens to me, Ann's fine.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah. I suppose if you don't want to, that's interesting, Al, because you usually like to get to the, cross your T's and dot your I's on the numbers. But
not when it comes to pensions. I'm a big fan of survivor
fixed income.
Yeah, fixed income survivor benefit.
Yep. Okay. No, I agree with you. I don't. And they're relatively close, right?
They're very close.
63, 65, 68.
Plus, there's a pop-up.
Who doesn't love a pop-up? Yeah.
Did you know what a pop-up was?
Yeah, I haven't seen pop-up in I don't know. Probably 15 years.
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
Anyway. How about the home improvement?
Okay, so he wants to do 2 bathrooms, a kitchen, and an in-ground pool and landscaping.
Yeah.
I don't know. If he's in California, that's $1 million.
True. But he's in New York State.
And they want to travel.
So, right. What, 2 bathrooms?
Okay.
What is that? 40 grand?
Well, and I think what he's talking about, she's got a pension of 45,000, so maybe it's multi-year, but does he use that 45,000 to pay off the renovations, or does he earmark that for Roth contributions or paying tax on
Should I
conversion.
use the $45,000 for catch-up? So he's got a lump sum coming. She's got a lump sum coming in.
Every year? Her pension's $45,000 per year. So I think that's
he's
what
talking about using his unused sick time of $45,000.
Yeah, $45,000. Her pension is 45 grand a year. My pension $73,000 a year, and then I will receive a payout of 45,000 for his unused annual leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
So that 45,000.
Got it.
Should he use that for
yeah.
contribution?
Okay.
So, but if he's retired, he doesn't have earned income, so he cannot contribute to a Roth IRA. Or when does he want to actually retire? He's going to retire this year. So,
Yeah, well, I guess it could be the same year.
okay. I don't think $45,000 is going to cover an in-ground pool, landscaping,
It's
two
not.
bathrooms, and a kitchen.
It's not. I agree with you. Nevertheless, I would use it for the renovation because it's there and available. That's what I would
What
do.
does he have for taxable investments? He's got $500,000 in taxable investment. What does he have for debt?
Debt is, I don't think there's any.
There's no debt on the
Yeah.
home? What's the home worth?
there.
Did he say?
Maybe, well, I didn't say actually. Come to think of it.
I don't know. Would you do a home equity line for the reno?
Hmm,
Or would you take
Depend-
from the brokerage account?
Depends how much it is, right? What
Yeah,
the
they
final
said we have no
cost is.
debt and no children, so confirmed. They don't even have a
Yeah,
debt on the house.
So I think I would, me personally, I'd probably use the 45,000 to pay towards the renovation, and any additional amount, I would be tempted to do a home equity loan, I think, on that, and then just pay that off over time. That's,
Because they got plenty of fixed income,
yeah, right, exactly.
right? So
I mean, basically with all that extra fixed income and
it's
the
okay to
$2
have a
million
little bit of debt if you got that much fixed income, depending on the rate, and
Right,
you'll probably
right. That's probably what I would do. Use the 45 grand to go ahead and pay whatever it went towards the renovation and borrow the rest. I think that home equity loan, I think that's what I'd do.
I think that's what I would do too, because it's got a decent amount in the Roth, 500 grand.
He
I
does.
wouldn't touch that.
Yep.
It's got $500,000 in a money market and brokerage account.
Yep.
Right. I don't know. Maybe you spend a little bit of that, but 45, I agree with you 100%. Pump that in there. He's got the deferred account of 935 with the inherited IRAs and his 403Bs and 457s or 401Ks, whatever he's got.
Yep.
So yeah. Would you do conversions?
If I could get them.
What is he? 62 and 60. He's got 10 years. He's not going to touch any of that retirement account.
Yeah.
It's $1 million.
Well,
he
has an inherited IRA, so he's got to be taking money out of that. How much is that?
I don't think it's nearly as much as his
Oh, it's
standard.
only 40,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But so yeah, it's he's not going to touch that for
He's going to have $2 million in his retirement
13
account.
years.
$80,000 is the RMD, roughly, if he gets 7% over that 10 years. He's got 150,000 of fixed income. That's going to put him at 250 minus 50.
Yeah, I think
200,000. He's going to be touching the 24% tax bracket.
yeah, or at least, I mean, converting into the
22
would
makes
be, it's simple because that's a couple 100,000 and they'll make 108 if he takes the lower pension option. Yes, I would be converting all the way through, and you got the money in taxable to pay for the tax.
Yep. And then, so I would take a home equity line. I might even only play interest only until my RMDs.
Good.
Because the RMDs is going to force more income out of the retirement accounts, and he's going to be forced to pay tax on it. And then you take the excess RMDs, and then you pay off the debt.
Could do that. I would do that if he was 72.
I suppose
I
10
don't
years
think
is kind of a
60
long
do.
time.
Because interest rate risk and
Yep.
all that.
But he's got the cash to pay off the note tomorrow.
True. If the interest rates go up.
Right.
Yeah.
If something kind of weird happens, I guess you would have a little bit more flexibility there. So
Yeah, true.
a lot of opportunity. But if he thinks he can do all that for 45 grand, I need the name of his contractor.
I'm not sure he said, well, I think it's money towards it, maybe.
I got to find more out from Stella and Stanley. I want to see pictures of the before and after.
Yeah,
I want to see if everything's level. If we got it at 45 grand.
right. Well, in-ground pool could be you dig out and put a little plastic through it.
The 9th Annual YMYW Podcast Survey is open right now, and it's your chance to tell us in great detail what would make your money, your wealth even better for you. You might even win a $100 Amazon e-gift card just for telling us what you think. Already, some of you have told us that you didn't know that we had free financial resources besides the YMYW podcast and the TV show and the free guides. In the description of every episode, you'll find links to all sorts of financial education that you've been missing. We've got educational videos on everything from passive versus active investing to how to fund college without overpaying. We've got blogs with insights on dealing with economic uncertainty and worrying about war. Find these links and the one to the 9th Annual YMYW Podcast Survey in the episode description. Use the password YMYW, all lowercase, to access that survey. Complete all 16 questions by 5 p.m. on August 31st. U.S. residents only for the giveaway. No purchase is necessary. One $100 Amazon e-gift card winner will be chosen at the close of the survey and announced on the podcast on September 1st. Good luck.
Let's go to Gary from PA.
Look out.
Okay, wife and I are 54 years old. Drive Honda cars in nothing fancy all of our lives. Drink of choice for me is a 15-year-old single malt. And my wife loves margaritas. So he's like nothing fancy, but I want a 15-year-old single malt.
I didn't even know they aged him that long.
Man, that sounds
That's his
tasty.
idea of simple.
That's all right. Little margarita for the wife. We currently make about $600,000 to $900,000 based on our company stock. Okay, so you don't make much either there, Gary.
That's why he's drinking simple drinks.
Yeah, pretty simple guy. We have always lived below our means. I currently have, and our annual expenses are $120,000, but will go up once we have to buy medical insurance. Debt zero, of course. We paid off our house and cars long time ago. Kids are all working, so no more college or expenses. Okay, let's see what they got in assets here. Assets, 401ks, IRAs, $4 million.
Okay.
Brokerage account, $5 million. With two stocks worth around $1 million. So they got single stock risk.
In parentheses. So we wouldn't miss that.
Yeah, we wouldn't miss that one. I got $5 million all in two stocks.
Just to help you guys out.
FYI, I could have some single stock risk. We got some Roth IRAs of $800,000. We got a house of $1 million. Asset mix, $8.5 million in diversified ETFs. Rest in bonds and money markets, yielding about 4%. What the hell question do you think this guy's going to ask us?
It's a great question. If you're keeping score, it's about 10 million.
Okay, you're good. We both max out our 401ks, including the mega backdoor portions that contributes to Roth. We don't do any IRA, but just dump remaining in index funds weekly. Here's the questions. Wife and I plan to call it quits at the end of the year, 2026, as we both turn 55 next year. These guys are 54 years old with 10 mil.
Yeah, crazy.
Based on the numbers above, and expenses, it's more like a 2% withdrawal rate would be enough even when we add more travel expense. Should we call it done at the end of the year or accumulate more for 2 or 3 years?
Let's see.
Yo, Gary, come on. You got to 10 million. Let's get to 20. Just keep pushing.
Yeah. Quit whenever you want.
It's going to be impossible for this guy to spend.
I know it. I know it is. I mean, I inflated his spending from 120 to 200 for insurance and travel, which he won't spend it on. And that's a 2% distribution rate.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say this is a bragger email, Joe?
No, I don't think so. I think I think this guy is truly concerned about spending his money. I think there's a number he has in mind, and I think every year that number goes up as the market goes up.
All right.
He's had this single stock risk for a while, and he sees that. He knows he has to sell it, but he doesn't want to. I think he's probably like, man, should I just work it? Like 55, that's pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
And then he makes $900,000 a year. You give up a $900,000 paycheck. I mean, I would be second guessing, third guessing, fourth guessing too, and probably writing into finance podcasts to get advice from a couple of schmucks.
Got it. Okay. Colorful language there.
Okay, bleeping that one.
Should we call it done at the end? Yes, I would do.
I would call it done. But I agree with you. How many people we've seen that have a lot of money and they just can't spend
Yeah,
it?
because they never spent a dime.
They're so used to saving, they can't turn that switch.
It is so hard for people to turn that switch. It's like the anxiety.
Now
emotions.
Now I'm not adding. I'm going to reduce.
Right. It's a totally different mindset. I mean, I think people take like retirement, not necessarily just everything to do with retirement a little bit for granted. Like, hey, I want to get to a certain number and I don't want to work anymore. I want to say F you to the man and walk out the door and, get in my RV and travel the country and all of that. But then all of a sudden the paycheck goes away.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, I got to start creating the income on my own. And now I got to spend money instead of save money. And then you're going to see your accounts fluctuate. The market turns. I mean, there's all sorts of different emotions that go along with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember we used to talk about like practice retirement. That was kind of stupid, but I think people should think about that. Dress rehearsal. Is that
Well, that's because they were spending too much and we wanted them to spend less on what they could spend in retirement, see if they could actually do it. But this is the other direction. So I'm going to say a couple things here. So quit whenever you want.
How should we go about reducing our tax liabilities from the 401k?
Hold on one second.
All right, sorry.
But if you like your job and want to keep going for it, I mean, you're 55, you're young, you've got lots of energy, you can do that too. But it's quit when you want. But someone like this, Joe, that is with this amount of income, probably been a hard charger for a long time. And so I think the single best advice I can give you is make sure if you quit, you're going to something instead of just quitting. In other words, have an activity that you want to do, several activities you want to do, or maybe it's a lot of travel, maybe it's volunteering, maybe it's spending time with kids and or grandkids. Have something or multiple things that you're quitting to go do instead of I'm going to quit and then figure it out.
What do you think he does making 900 grand a year? It fluctuates between, so he gets company stock.
Yep.
So he must work for a publicly traded company that gets RSUs.
Yep. So it's probably a tech company.
Yep.
And I'm guessing he could maybe sales, or maybe he's like a executive.
Yeah. I would think an executive of a tech company.
Yeah,
that's what I'm guessing too. Yeah. That's a good guess.
And you know what? If it's his baby, maybe he doesn't want to quit yet, and maybe he could work part-time just to keep it going. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I guess the point is he doesn't have to work if he doesn't want to.
I would imagine it's stressful.
Yep.
I would imagine it's demanding. That's why he wants to. He's like, hey, I'd like to leave at 55 next year, but should I keep grinding out for 2 or 3 years? When you grind out for 2 or 3 years, I mean, you're going to have even that much more security, right? So,
right. And if that feels right,
that feels right, I mean, if that's going to help you sleep at night, that's the most important thing is your health at this point.
Right.
You have a ton of money that you'll probably never ever outlive. So then it's just figuring out, all right, well, how do I stay alive long enough to try to spend it all out?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. But yeah, congratulations. He's done a killer job. But spend a little bit, right? I mean, a lot of this is going to go to the IRS unless he spends it down. Should he use the rule of 55? No, just convert the hell out of these dollars over the next 10 years.
Exactly. Yep.
Right. He's got kids. His kids are probably going to be super successful because I could just imagine what Big Gary was like.
Yeah. Or maybe they're going to go the other way because he's never home.
I doubt it. No, he was always home. He was home at 6 o'clock for dinner. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't use the rule of 55. Again, the rule of 55 is taking money out of 401k plan and avoid the 10% penalty. You could do that. I would roll all it into an IRA and then I would convert. I would live off of my taxable investments. I would be thinking about your single stock risk. So there's plenty of strategies there to kind of mitigate some of that risk and slowly diversify out. What we talked about, you could do some options. You could do a direct index. There's multiple of strategies.
In this case, there's probably some tax loss harvesting.
Tons. I mean, at a $5 million brokerage account. But I don't know how he's managing the risk there or how he is tax managing that brokerage account. We're seeing a lot larger brokerage accounts, that have so much gains in it, they don't want to sell because it's like, I don't want to pay the tax. So what are they doing? They're almost creating like another retirement account.
True.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
well, I don't want to touch the retirement account because I don't want to pay ordinary income tax. Well, I don't want to touch my brokerage account because I don't want to pay capital gains tax.
We hear that a lot.
So I'm going to keep working. It's just,
Which is ordinary
it's
income
just
tax.
ordinary income tax on my wages.
I hear you. Yeah, I would convert to the top of the 24% bracket, live on the taxable account, and do that each and every year for indefinitely.
Yep.
That's what I would do.
But he's got to realize that, all right, so he's got total liquid assets of $10 million. If he converts to the top of 24 each and every year, you know, that depends, of course, on what the market does. That $10 million is probably going to dip a little bit because of the tax that you're going to pay. But the $4 million in tax deferred accounts is not $4 million. It's like $2.5 million. So if you look at it after tax, so sometimes people are like, oh, I don't really want to pay the tax here because I don't want to see my, because this guy probably has a number in mind. Right. You know, he wanted to hit a certain dollar figure on his brokerage statement to say, okay, sigh of relief, I can retire. Most people's is a lot less than $10 million, but Big G here in PA, he's a baller.
Yeah, but someone like this, you know how this works. The number was 2 million, and then it's 4 million, and then it's 5, and it just keeps going up. Yeah.
Is that why you're still working, Big Al?
Apparently.
Got it.
Next week on YMYW, Eeyore and Nurse Kathy in Florida want to know when to stop doing Roth conversions. Harry and Sally in New York and When Can I Retire from 12-Hour Days in Virginia wonder when they should take their Social Security benefits. Join us next week to find out, won't you please? And real quick before you go, if today's episode got you thinking, do me 2 favors. Follow or subscribe wherever you watch or listen so you never miss an episode. And tell a friend who's wrestling with the same retirement questions. Word of mouth is how we grow, and it only takes like 10 seconds. If listening to Joe and Big Al spitball other people's retirements has you wondering about your own, why not get a free financial assessment? It's a 2-meeting sit-down with an experienced professional who will look at your whole picture, your spending, your withdrawal order, your tax situation, and they'll show you where you really stand. There's no cost, there's no obligation. Just click the free assessment link in the episode description to get started, or call 888-994-6257. We've got 13 offices around the country, or you can meet in person via Zoom from anywhere. Pure Financial Advisors is a registered investment advisor. This show does not intend to provide personalized investment advice through this podcast and does not represent that the securities or services discussed are suitable for any investor. As rules and regulations change, podcast content may become outdated. Investors are advised not to rely on any information contained in the podcast in the process of making a full and informed investment decision.
That was a movie.
Yes, I was going to say that's probably who you would know would be Salma Hayek and Alfred Molina.
Yes, Salma
in the
Hayek.
movie Frida, but they were actually based on the originals of Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera.
Got it.
Okay.
And so here are some of Frida's famous paintings, and here are some of Diego's famous paintings.
So what they painted themselves.
She was known for doing self-portraits, yes. He was more of a muralist, so he did large designs, and I think these folks might be from San Francisco, and so he actually did some murals in San Francisco. San Francisco Stock Exchange, for example.
What's going on with Tesla? They don't make the Model 3, it's just the Model Y and Model something?
I honestly have lost track. I've got a Model 3 from 2022, same car. I don't even know what they're doing now. But I don't think I've seen many, if any, Model 3s lately.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
And Al, didn't you tell us a long time ago that the models were S, 3, X, and Y to spell out sexy?
Correct. Yep. That's exactly right.
Okay.
Do you know that one, Joe?
No, I don't.
I had Kir Royale when I lived in Paris for about a month, and that became a favorite drink. And it's actually, do you know what creme de cassis is?
No, maybe.
So it's a black currant liqueur with champagne or sparkling wine. And it's really, really tasty.
Okay.
Is that your favorite movie, Andy?
No, I did see it, and I really, really liked Marlon Brando's acting. So
Okay. We need to watch that then.
Okay.
And he sings in the movie Guys and Dolls. If you ever want to see him actually singing with Frank Sinatra.
Oh. Okay.
Nope.
You don't want to.
Nope. I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah. I kind of just changed a little bit on my pool.
Mm-hmm. How much is it?
it was more than 45 grand. And they're still working on it, like
Are they?
18 months later.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was kind of a gaudy pool. Like it felt like it should have been in the Venetian.
So,
You know what
really?
I mean? Oh, it was
Did it have
terrible.
statues?
You got
things?
statues, yeah.
Water coming out of somebody's mouth.
Yep, pretty much. And then these weird kind of, it was, it wasn't good.
Got it. Yeah, you've had a lot of pool experience.
Oh, I'm a pool man. When you got 2 kids, you got to have a pool, and you got to be.
Got it.
Yeah, they like the pool.
Yeah.
So yeah, this summer, not a lot of pool time. So we're just looking at it.
You're looking at construction.
Yeah.
Get a little plastic pool. They'll love it. They won't know the difference hardly.
Not that much change. We just kind of stripped it out, tore some things out, and then I thought it was going to take a month.
Yeah, right.
No.
18.
No, yeah. Well, it's not.
I'm going.
But it's been a while.